Hi, Jody. Let's talk about a search day that we like to humorously call the Jennifer Project. My understanding is that part of the client's procedure, it said like send to Jennifer. It was actually an employee at their company, and that was the procedure. So they needed to really fix that situation. And maybe you could tell us a little bit more about that project.
I know, I love that name, the Jennifer Project. It came about because in the workflow, there was a lot of things that were automated. So this is automated, this is automated, this is automated. And then in the workflow, it says like give to Jennifer. So our web designer was wondering, like, is that a system? What is that? But it was a great employee that filled in a piece of the process, which apparently had to get automated.
I mean, what if Jennifer leaves? I mean, you know that it's a definite sign when you have sent to like an employee's name.
In the workflow, right?
Exactly. What was the project about, and what were some of the challenges that the client faced?
Well, our client is an employee benefits administration firm. They wanted to move from really high cost channels that had a lot of manual processes and paper forms, and they wanted to move to a more automated, self-service, lower cost process. And they needed to re-engineer all their business processes from end to end. So the client reached out to me and said that they needed a web designer, and they were looking for a contractor, someone who could jump in, figure out how they work as an organization, and get the lay of the land, see what the business is about, and then look at all their models and see if they would work and how they could scale. And last, they wanted somebody to just start using the tools and put forward things and see how everybody responded to it. So they needed a complete rethinking of how they did the business. Our web designer said it the best, so I'm just going to quote him. He said, it started off as like a self-service, and the concept behind it was, we'll let people do that. He said, then you realize how difficult it is when you have 35 other systems, and it used to be an individual on your side that filled out this form and sent it to the person through interoffice mail. So he would look at the workflows and say, this is so crazy. This is automated. This is automated. This is automated. This is sent to Jennifer. But he really, helped them figure out a process engineering. So one of the challenges was seeing the workflows. Another one was they were using a solution that was really not designed for the end user. It was designed for the back of the house people. So they had to translate that for the end user. And even though the system seemed very simple, it was really more complicated. You would do one thing and it would touch so many other systems, the retirement system, the beneficiaries, the insurance coverage, and money needed to be taken out. So there was also regulation. So there really was a lot of challenges. Those were the business challenges. And resource-wise, they said their current team was very siloed, so they couldn't look across the board. And they were looking for a specific type of web designer, not like a user experience person with a research focus.
What were some of the solutions that you came up with to help in the search and find the right person?
Well, first we realized we had to narrow down what kind of web designer and what kind of user experience we were looking for them to have, because there's user experience research, there's user experience design. And in this case, they didn't need a super designer. They didn't need someone who made beautiful design. It just had to be like functional, clear, user-friendly design. So we developed a detailed screening process and checklist. We were looking for somebody who had a natural curiosity. We needed to find somebody with attention to detail and look at their portfolio. And we needed to find somebody who worked on complex systems as well. That was our solution.
I see. So you had to really sort of narrow down what the client needed for the project and be able to find all of those things in one person.
That's right. And we don't like to go by the job requirement. I mean, that could be the starting point of the discussion, because a job requirement is usually the laundry list of skills, and which usually encompasses everything in the world. And it also encompasses everything that they'd like to get done. It's almost like an overwhelming document. So we needed to get to the crux of what are the problems they're addressing, what would they like to accomplish, and our system helped do that.
Right, right. So what was the finality? Like, what was the final solution?
Well, we submitted 3 candidates and they hired one after interviewing them. And the submittal to start time was 10 business days. So that was fantastic. The client was very happy about that. And our web designer, he was able to re-engineer all of their manual processes to online. He looked at their legacy systems and brought the functionality out in a modern way. He was also able to balance the needs between the business, the technology, and the users. And there was an interesting story that the business group really liked him so much they thought he was an employee and wanted to give him an employee bonus.
Wow. That's a great ending to the story.
Right? They were very happy with him. He really became like a part of their working teams and accomplished the goals. He's been there for over 2 years and the project will be wrapping up soon.
That sounds great. Thank you so much, Jody. It was great to speak with you today.
It was great to speak to you too. And we really enjoy in the search figuring out what the secret ingredient is. What's the crux to find the right person?
I know Clearmont always says where the right fit matters. Thank you so much, Jody.